I've been like really just drained, exhausted the last couple of days. Talking to the spirit and dealing with the powers at be right now, and of course, detaching from their web by letting go of their policies and bureaucracies, and being chained down to politics and religion. And in order to be free of debt, you have to release others from their debt. In order to be free of judgments and condemnation, you've got to release others from judgment and condemnation. um in order not to be struck down, you have to not strike others. So, and of course, also not strike yourself. And as I've been growing and processing this, it's been, tough, not to mention, talking to, the beings on the other side, and of course, dealing with them because they're always trying to manipulate or outmaneuver me for some reason. And I'm like, I'm not in competition or trying to compete with others. And I don't think I'm better than others, nor do I put, I'm just not interested in all that. I just want to be free and to be in heaven, and have a heaven about me, my heaven. I don't want Jesus's heaven or Buddha's heaven, or I want my heaven, and with my universe, the creativity and the imagination that is me, and what I find pleasing to the touch and taste and the sounds. And of course, being a creator is not easy in this world, because there's a lot of noise, and there's a lot of backlash. There's always, there's always something. And so it's been a wake-up call even more. I mean, I've been going through a transition for quite some time. It's been quite some time. Time moves fast, and of course, time is irrelevant in this place of being. And I'm absorbing so much information, like, processing it so fast and learning. And basically, this week I have been concentrating on dark manipulation. And that's not so that I could, manipulate others through psychology, but recognize, this behavior in others. And that's what I told the spirit. I was like, I'm thankful for the lessons, because it's a dark art, but I want heavenly vibes. I don't want to manipulate others, or mistreat others, or abuse others, or use others. That's not my intention. I have no intention. I just want to go about in love, kindness, grow in patience. And that doesn't make me a mark or a target. So I'll say that out there to all beings, whether they're in the flesh or outside the flesh, whether they're in this realm or just watching. I am not a target or a mark. I see truth. I see into the hearts of all. I see who they are. I recognize a spider, I recognize a snake, I recognize the truth of all, and I love them no matter what. I show kindness no matter what. However, I'm not a mark or a target. I show kindness because that is what I choose to show. It's not out of manipulation. It's not out of because I think that's going to get me into heaven. Because, I am who I am because I choose who I am. I choose who I be. And just like the spirit was trying to convince me of the company to let down my walls, and I'm like, I am who I am. I keep the company I choose to keep. And if I choose not to keep my company, then I dismiss them, and there's no persuading me. There's a reason why I keep the company I keep, and there's a reason why I don't keep the company I keep. And that's my biz. And it's just been definitely a tiring week. Because I'm not arguing. It's basically just kind of sharing with another being, and they exhaust me in a way. but it's good to learn so that way I can understand. You can't, before I walked in this world with rose colored glasses and I didn't try to understand darkness, I just, basically I shunned it, but I was still walking in it. So many now, they're sitting there pointing fingers, casting, blame and stones and stuff like that. And they don't realize that they are walking in darkness, that they are a dark being, just putting on the clothes of being a light worker. But they're not really a light worker because they're walking in darkness, and they're partaking and being a part of the system of the beast that is. They don't know who they are because they're too busy trying to look at others. You don't find out who you are looking at others or watching other people's lives. You can be an observer of others. However, you have to know yourself, and what you do is I grow from what I see. If I see someone doing a certain behavior, I don't cast stones at them and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing that. I look at myself and I go, okay, why am I observing this? There's a reason why I'm seeing this. And, I see and I find that behavior. It's like I analyze myself. I find that little piece of behavior that I've had and I work on it. It's like constantly working on myself. Like we are our own mechanism, our spirit or mind or body or heart. The soul is its own mechanism. And of course, there's like little pieces that we got to tweak. And, we have to work on them. It's not the same as, working on a car, but we are, put together in an intricate way. We come together, the mind, the body, the heart, the spirit, the soul. And if you don't work on yourselves, and you lose that. You lose that. And today I saw brain freeze, and I've been seeing brain freeze, and my mind was kind of freezing up today, and I was like, why am I having brain freezes? Why is my mind kind of freezing up? Is it, our mind can get cold. We can have cold thoughts. We can have dark thoughts. And that's basically what I've been trying to do, is just kind of overcome. Because the holiday season is a depressing one. And it was made that way. It was made to bring the spirit down, to make you mindless, to kind of just, it feeds you spirit. The holiday season feeds you spirit, so that way it can commercialize off of you and feed off your energies. Not only does it feed off the physical aspect, you work harder, you buy, the selling, and trading, but it also rings you mentally, physically, emotionally. It just rings your spirit. There's things in this world that feed off energy. And you're like, well, how can they get away with it? Because we feed off others, and that's what I said, is that I don't feed off anything alive. So that's why I was like, doing to others is you'd have others doing to you. So I don't eat anything that's alive in this world, like physically alive. It's already dead before it puts before me. So therefore, I say they can't eat off my energy because I am alive. And it says, even in scripture, throughout different religious texts, and that's the truth. There's always an underlying truth in the religious text, is you cannot feed off of anything with living blood in it. And my blood, I have living blood in it. So therefore, those that try to drain the spirits are vampires, and they are going against written law. Like they are under a certain law that they're not supposed to break. And, they've been getting away with it, and I don't understand, but they agreed to this law a long time ago. And, they think that there's nobody around to enforce it. But the truth is, written law is written, and you can't go against it, because it's like it's alive itself. So, those that feed off the living, they're actually inviting cancers and rot, and they're dying themselves, and they don't understand it. And that's why there's more more human population because they think they're going to feed off of them, and that's why there's so many in despair because they know their time is short, so they're trying to gain as much energy because they think that there's somebody coming to conquer them, but they're just conquering themselves because they're ignorant. They think that there's some big powerful source that's coming to wipe them out, and in truth, in reality, there's not. You know, sure, Jesus might show up, just like Satan might show up at their. You never know what will manifest due to human, due to this world. Like, we are manifestors and creators, so yeah, a lot will create their own gods and lords. However, with how the Lord walks and talks and goes, then he would automatically strike down those that are going against law. And of course, that is, well, the majority of the population, because they're not going by the law, the true law, and they're blasphemous because they say they are his when they're doing the exact opposite of his commands. I don't call myself Christian. I don't have a God or a Lord, but I do talk to this being. However, it is nothing like what is portrayed. The image and idol out there is not him. And I love all, so regardless of what a being is, I'm going to love them for who they are. I might not like everything about them. I might not even like anything about them, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to love them. And be helpful, kind, compassionate, patient. It's just what my path and what I am who I am, and that's what I chose apparently a long time ago to be, and that's how I came into being, is by being of love, which is carrying the heart of Christ, the love about it, and growing in the heart of Christ, the mind of Christ, the body of Christ, the soul of Christ, the spirit of Christ. And that has nothing to do with any God or Lord or King or Queen or whatever, because I don't put anybody above me. Anyways, I just choose to walk as I am, not out of fear of a God, a Lord, or anything like that, but I am who I am because that's who I choose to be. That's it. And that's what I, say to others. I was like, you know what? You are who you are. So, be the best version of whatever your walk is. Don't put on a show. Don't be a fucking poser. Just be who you want to be. If you want to be the, Jeffrey Dahmer, be the best Jeffrey Dahmer you can be. Or, that's just the way it is. You can't cover up who you are. In this world, we can wear clothes. Like, I can dress up like a reindeer, but that doesn't make me a fucking reindeer. I can act like a reindeer, but that doesn't mean, I'm a reindeer, And just because y'all act like you have love in your hearts and you go about in good deeds and good intentions, that doesn't make you anything good. You're just doing it because you think it either gets you to heaven, which it won't. Heaven's a creation. We create ourselves. That's why when people die, they say, oh, I woke up in hell. Well, that's because they create hell. And they create hell for others, too. They create it for themselves, and they create it for others. So if you want a heaven about you, wake up, you're your own creator. So, you create your own heaven, and you should, start thinking about what heaven is to you. I know what heaven is to me. It's good eats, sounds, it's, being free of bureaucracies and politics and religion. It's, being healthy. It's not having any pain, suffering. It's wonderful. I envision heaven. And, what separated me from the church of man to begin with is because I would sit there and I would hear this sweet melody, in the words, and then they would ruin it with their religion and politics and ego and self-righteousness and hypocrite and just their assholism, as I call it. So, I was called out of the church and I was separated. And each time I tried to go back, of course I was I had to endure that. And, that's why I don't claim any titles. I'll be a light, but I'm not your teacher. I'm not your preacher. I'm just a light into the world. That's it. I do my best every day. I and walk my golden path, as in do unto others as I would have done unto you. And, of course I mess up, and I'm not perfect, but I do my best. But everything seems to be going, well. I was told to not put my business out there, kind of stay hush hush and quiet about, what is going about me, to keep the evil eye and jealousy and curses. Because, you don't want people to be envious of your life, jealous of your life. You don't want yourself to be cursed. And, which kind of is like, I want to share good news and good thoughts and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was told to kind of keep things to myself, and just let things grow. Because right now there's a lot of turmoil in the world, and it's not going to stop, and I say that to whoever's listening to this. Tribulation is just getting started. The dominoes are just falling, if you have blessings coming, take your blessings and be good with them. Think about the future, have future sight, about what's going on with the food situation and, the travel situation, and things are going to change. Of course, families are going to be divided. The Spirit told me that it's about to be celebrity warfare. This coming up year is going to be more like celebrity warfare. They're going to be really cutthroat, because it's going to be a really dog eat dog. It's going to be vicious out there. And, so what I say to y'all out there, don't throw stones at the TVs. Don't get involved in celebrity disputes or political disputes or anything. Walk away from that shit, because when you throw stones at others, those stones will come right back and boomerang and hit you in the fucking face. It's just put out there to drain your energy so that you will strike yourself. That's the whole point of media out there, is so that you will throw stones at the screen, that you'll, rebuke it, and then you will receive your judgment and condemnation and your rebukes back. It's just throw it. What you do is you just laugh. That's what I do. I just laugh, I don't even pray. I want others to be safe and secure, but I don't pray, because I don't know who the hell to pray to. I don't. I'm not going to have anxiety or stress, because I know what I've been through, and it's made me a stronger person. And I will help those upon my path that are put upon my path. And let me tell you something. If you don't help those that are calling out for help, that are put on your path, directly on your path, then there will be nobody there to help you. Help those, and you use your spiritual discernment. Like the other day I saw a lady walking down the road, and she was just carrying a light bag. It wasn't bad weather or anything like that. So I was like, I wasn't called to pick her up. It was just kind of a thought. And I was like, what? Something's just telling me that she, walking is okay. Because I like to walk. And she didn't look like she was having trouble walking or anything like that. Sometimes I get tired. And you can tell somebody if they're tired walking down the road. There's nothing wrong with asking, if someone needs help. But use discernment, because I've helped those, like, and I didn't use discernment. I just helped them because I like to help. Like this one person, I was in Colorado, and I gave him a pair of my river shoes because he's barefoot. Okay, the next day, he had lost those shoes, and I was out shoes. I didn't have any river shoes, and those were good shoes. I gave him a pair of my good shoes, and of course, he didn't appreciate it. So, what? If you're going to help those, use discernment and help those that will appreciate your help. If they're partying and out of their mind and shit like that, they're not. They're not going to appreciate it. So, just use your discernment. Anyways, it's hot in here. I keep on getting hot and cold and hot. and cold, and of course that's just part of being in this world, and of course going through I call it transitioning, changing, receiving information. Like, I've been receiving nonstop information, and I'm not for sure who's talking to me, but I enjoy it. I'm starting to embrace that more and more and more. They're not physically with me, but they're with me. And I really am thankful for that I have whatever that is, whoever that is, whatever they might be, by my side, and I'm thankful. And I say out there to those that, when doors open and doors close, or you're delayed or something like that, be more understanding and patient that, that could have prevented you from, getting into an accident or losing your life, or, stopped you from making a fool of yourself. So, anyways, it's always good to be humble and not to be in a hurry. I say to all out there, because I say to my mom all the time when she's driving, slow down. And she's always like, I'm going the speed limit. That don't matter. Use discernment. If people want to fly past you, that's fine. But use discernment. Slow down. Be cautious of your environment, the weather, the shape of the roads. They put those speed limits out there not for your safety, but to sit there and burn that fuel. They want to kill you. Believe me, in this world, they are trying to kill you off as fast as possible. They're trying to eliminate you. Don't sit there and think that all these safety things are, for your protection. No, that speed limit is to increase the gas flow, so you'll burn that fuel. So you'll go faster. It's all to keep people in a frenzy. It's to cause accidents. It's to cause wear and tear, because they make money off of you. Not to mention, they also feed off your spirit when you're in distress, or you're angry, or you're agitated, or you're full of anxiety. It's, this is hell in a way. It is hell. It's not full-blown hell. It's turning that way. And of course, we were given a promise that we will be called up before it turns full-blown hell. But remember, you're not in a heavenly state. So wake up to those around you. Wake up to those that say they're over you, or the powers you put over you. Wake up to the truth of shit. Wake up to the truth. The traditions, the holidays, those people that are around you that are family or friends. Wake up to it. I can see my aura around me. If you see, there's like, the lights over here, but I can see, my aura, which is nice. I'm ready to move past this world, so bad. In this world, I want to be free, of course, but at the same time, I am ready to leave this behind. This is just a suitcase, and oh my gosh, mine has been hurting so bad lately. It's like, damn. Like, there's been times where it's like, I'll just walk and it feels like somebody's just been squishing me, like, and hugging me, and I'm like, where the hell does that even come from? Who's hugging me? It's like, quit hugging me so hard. I don't know what's around me, because I can't physically see them, but it feels like I've been really bear hugged or whatever, and I'm like, damn, ow, damn. Take it easy. Take it easy on me. I'm like, I'm still in the skins. I'm still in these skins. This is just a suitcase. So don't judge people by appearances, and love people for who they are. You don't have to like them. You don't have to identify with them or whatever. You don't have to have shit in common. Just love people for who they are. Anyways, y'all have a good night.